Hey everybody, welcome back to another Art Juice. Tonight I am continuing the longer versions of the Reindeer. We're slogging through this. This is Cupid. I don't know what was special about Cupid. They said Cupid had a crush on Vixen. Cupid is, I guess, supposed to be kind of cute, like a little Cupid or something. I don't know. So the idea of Cupid, I decided to sort of twist it on its head. I was originally thinking, well, should I give him wings, like a pootie, like one of those little cherub kind of things? I think Cupid usually is shown with wings. I was like, I don't know, he can already fly. Didn't really need wings. He's a reindeer. So I decided instead to twist it and not really run with the whole Cupid thing, and instead make him like a zombie, like the opposite of like something cute and full of love and grace and all that stuff. So I made this twisted reindeer, kind of like Santa Frankenstein something together, put together this like zombie electro reindeer thing. Got started off with kind of the skull, like looking at like loosely looking at like a elk deer skull kind of thing, and I just left the bottom jaw off of it, so it's just like the top head of a top part of a deer skull, and then worked on really accentuating the ribs, and now I'm trying to give it some bony hands and making him kind of gaunt, very skeletal zombie-like deer with his little electro belts and pieces and stuff in there. And so now I'm just going back in and refining some of the details. I'm trying to pull out the spinal column bits a little bit, putting in some of the top teeth, and then I'm putting in the curvy reindeer antlers to help. And made them nice and curvy, kind of lyrical. And working on bits and pieces here, trying to get the neck to really seem cord-like, muscular, because there's no skin on it. It's just like this kind of raw zombie neck. And then I'm noodling in the second antlers on the back side, so the ones on the back, and then putting in little Christmas ornaments. And now I'm just putting on like little shackles I gave all the deer that Santa uses to keep them in the barn so they don't run around, cause trouble with the elves. And I'm adding in little bits and pieces, like, you know, the Frankenstein parts. Instead of the bolts in the neck, I'm just giving them little bolts and electrical parts, like Santa had to sab them together. Little hooves, things holding the parts together. I'm sketching this with an HB. Probably should start using a lighter pencil too. I don't know. This was the lightest one I had on my table. Messy table that it is. This is fun drawing. So I got him in a nice twisted pose. Like the head's turning real quick. Maybe he's looking for Vixen. Wants to take her a martini or something. He's an enabler. He thinks she's hot. He likes Vixen, so he keeps taking her drinks. Taping it down, because as I start to saturate the paper, it's going to buckle up. And now I'm starting to do a really loose background wash of like reds. Doing some juice flow. Kind of fun just to add some little variation to it, and then coming in and adding some more reddish browns to the reds. And now pop forward, and then once it dried, I'm starting to color it, and I'm trying to think of like a greenish brown kind of zombie skin for a deer, or zombie deer. It's bringing some of the color back sometimes just to, if you, in watercolor, come back as it's drying and put in some more, it can add like a shadowy, little darker section. So sometimes I try and just do that. And fun. Here I am throwing some blues into shadow zones to help create a little more definition between lights and darks, and blending those shadows down, blotting off the excess, because sometimes I put too much water on there than I need for that section of leg. Put in a little shadow underneath him so he has a little standing spot. Now I'm just working on the manacles, probably using just like some different grays. Something that looks a little metallic. Not really going into any textural detail with the metals so much, just sort of a color shift from the skin tones to like the silver, kind of darker colors of the metal. It helps pop against the skin. Some red brown for the antlers. And he's got little bits of holly, some of that greenery in his, kind of contrasting the corpse-like body. I put in some vegetation, little Christmas holly bits up there. And then I'm just sort of coming back in with some green bits. And you can see sometimes I smear outside the lines. I don't really personally care about that because I'm just kind of like a drawing that has this flowy color forms in it. So I'm not that worried about it. Sometimes I try to be, but I'm not that really worried about it. I like the overall effect of a loose watercolor with drawing lines in it. And just doing little ornaments. So came out pretty good. Just putting in blacks for the eyes and the nose. Tweaking some of the shadows a little bit here and there. And it's just a layering process, from lights to darks. Think about your background contrasting with the foreground elements. Think about, so in this case, red background and green foreground, even though it's zombie green, but it's still green. And it's Christmas colors, but they also are, complementary pop against each other. And then I'm coming back in and using some reds in there that help pop against the green flesh for some bits. Just put in some little Christmas one. I don't know. It was a fun piece to do. I enjoyed it. He's got little bloody fingertips. I don't know what he's been doing. Here I'm just coming back in with some punchier color just to add some visual interest. So, it's fun to do that sometimes at the end. Just add in little pops of color like that. This is kind of a turquoise blue, I think. And so there you go. I hope you guys enjoyed that. That's the finished piece. Cupid. And then we're on to the next 3 reindeer and we'll be done. See ya.